So last week's session was basically about getting to know us as a couple and our journey to becoming married and becoming parents. And this week, I'm going to need you to get your pen and paper, follow the link to my website if you are in a relationship or about to get married. And just write down a few questions and go through them with your partner to see where you are. Enjoy the rest of this vlog.
Be as close as you can be to best mates.
Yeah.
Which
is effortless. You shouldn't have to feel like you have to fight the person.
Yeah, because you have those times when you're just feeling flat, and it takes being friends to almost remember why you got married in the first place sometimes.
Yeah. My tip would be see the person for who they are. I always say this. See the person for who they are, not who you think they should be. And that means that you might have to stop talking sometimes, even though I talk a lot. You may need to look for signs of stuff, like if they're crying about something that you might think, I don't understand what that's about. Delving deeper into exploring that person, rather than just thinking that, okay, you're supposed to be this way because when we met, this is how you were. I think we should be given permission to change, to evolve.
Yeah, finding balance in terms of, because you're two individuals, as we were saying earlier. If you win-win-win and the person feels like they're losing all the time, you create a tug of war.
Yeah.
So, really, I need to do everything I can to make sure you're happy above my own happiness. And you need to do everything you can do to make sure I'm happy above your own happiness. So you're working to elevate each other, and then you're both elevated because you're always thinking about the other person. Whereas it's easy to think about yourself, and then you start neglecting the other person, and then you create that conflict of needs.
So as it says in 1 Corinthians 13, love is not selfish. So there is an exchange. If we're all thinking about each other, no one gets left out. Yeah. A few of the points that I would like to make for people that are not married but going into a relationship is don't ignore the signs. Like if you see signs that you think, like I dated a few people before I met Paul, and I was just like, this isn't for me. Like this doesn't fit me. I knew straight away. With Paul, I didn't know straight away. It took me a while to build that friendship up, and that was when I started to see his whole personality and thought, actually I can see us being together. I can visualize us growing together, and I think that really made a big difference. But don't be afraid to see the signs. Don't be afraid to walk away if it's not for you. Be prayerful, when you're going into a relationship, because it's not, I think people take it lightly, but it is not a light thing to do, a light commitment. It is a massive commitment. It affects everything. Like if you got divorced, God forbid, you'd have to undo businesses. If you've got any houses, cars, kids suffer the most out of relationships. Like I've come from a broken home, and I know that it is not a joke, because they pick up things you don't even realise they're picking up. So it's better that prevention is better than cure. It's better that if you know at the beginning, you just say, you know what, it's not for me. Even if the other person's crying and you're sad, time will heal all wounds. But it's better that you say, you know what, let me just escape this before I go into something and it come out 10 times worse than I thought it would have come out in the first place. Another thing is making sure your values are aligned. Like like for us, we've got so many things. Like we've got our faith, we've got our, our core family values, like what we want to do with our family, what do we want to do with our businesses, what we want to do with our finances. We talked about a lot of things before we got married. Yeah. We didn't just get married. We were like sizing each other up. How many kids do you want? Do you know how many people don't actually know how many kids they want when they get married? And then they're like, oh, what have I done? And it's a big choice, because some people say, I don't want any, and then someone else is saying, I want 5, and you're like, what? So, yeah, there's so many things. And another one is make sure you know the family that you're marrying into. You know, I think that that's a big one, because if you don't know the family and you get married, and then, you know, those things can have an impact on your marriage. If you are in a family that doesn't like you, or doesn't, you know, you don't click with, or doesn't have the same values, you just got to weigh up if it's something that you can handle. So yeah, that's it from both of us. Thank you for watching.